Hello to everybody. In this section, we will see how to modify an existing mesh with TOUGH2Viewer. First of all, I want to present you the TOUGH2Viewer quick tutorial that you can download from the shared folder that you receive when you will download the TOUGH2Viewer. That is for example, you can access to this folder in the About, check for updates, and then you get the right link in order to get the TOUGH2Viewer manual. This current version is 2.0. So, by the way, you can go to the chapter number 6, the most simple case, in which is shown how to modify the mesh using several PLY surface representing the geological horizon of a hypothetical reservoir, geothermal reservoir, or whatever. So first of all, you must download in your folder your example data that in my case is shown here. So the content of the example data folder contains two folders, one with the model. Now here I added some PLY file, but in the surface folder there are the PLY file. I can visualize these files outside from TOUGH2Viewer, for example, with ParaView. So we can add into ParaView this PLY file. Very easy to do. So we can see here our PLY file representing several horizon surface. I added here another surface just for having a fault that is intersecting the strata. Okay, we can start to modify the grid file following this information. So first of all, we can close ParaView, and we can start our TOUGH2Viewer. So I will use the unstructured V++ grid. I go to my example folder, the number 6, and I will upload the TOUGH2Viewer point.file. Here I have two versions. In this section I will use the version originally present in this folder. I select the mesh file and then I create the empty model. Now I have to import all the surface file. In this section we will use the PLY file. One, two, three. And also the default. Sorry. And then we can close. Now we can visualize the 3D model. and you can see the surfaces. Now we want to change the rock types that at the beginning of this exercise are always of the same rock type using these surfaces. So we go to Advanced Block Selection, and here I can select the blocks using these tools. So in this case, we go to select the first surface, and I will select the cells that are above this surface. You can see from here that now selected cells are evidenced here. Now to modify the rock type of this selected cell, I can open Modify Selection, and then we can call it, for example, Atmo. And then we can click Apply. And we can close. So in this case, we will see that this file will be of another color. So I can reset the selection, and you can see that they are colored from another material type. After that, I can create the caprock. For example, here between the 0 .ply file and the 01. So I will select blocks between two surfaces. I can modify, and I will apply and then close. So you can see that now the surfaces the color of the blocks is changed. Now I can continue with another material, and we can modify by naming it, for example, tracer 1. So apply and close. We can remove the selection, and we can see that I evidenced another material. We can continue, for example, with the bottom. Sorry, from here, below the last surface, I can modify and I can write bottom, for example. We still have another rock type here that we want to change, and in this case we can maybe select just selecting, for example, using this feature. So all rock type, all cell that belongs to the rock type 1 will be changed. In this case, can be razor 3, I don't know, a name of your choice. So now we assigned all several rock types to all blocks. Now there is this new feature that is not documented in this PDF file, but I will change in the next feature, in which we can select just the block intersecting the surface, not below, not above, but just intersecting. So for example, I can select intersecting, I can select fold, and then I can add this selection. So in this case, I don't want to create a new material for this fold for each strata, but maybe just for this rock type. So in this case, I want just to select a trick. So I will hide all the blocks except the reservoir 1 blocks. So in this case, I will remove the selection. I will again select the intersecting cell, but just for this visualized rock type. And then I will modify the selection. So in this case, we can obtain another rock type assignation for this material. In this case, the color suggested from TOUGH2Viewer is not so visible, so we can modify the colors by clicking the another color. So now the fracture is more clearly visible. So we can also select, visualize all the model at the same method like before. So I can visualize all blocks. And this is our model. Obviously, there are other features, like we want to modify, for example, the volume to a certain blocks, or you want to select cell in another manner. Like in this case, I can select just a column with the same coordinates, or you can select, for example, say zeta. Sorry. Okay, here you must press the selection and you can select same theta. So you can change the property from this block for these blocks. Okay, I hope that is clear how to modify block inside a model. And when you finish to modify your model, you must save your model, because TOUGH2Viewer didn't change anything in your original mesh file. So you must go again in modify selection and then export the modify grid with the name of your choice. In this case, I can write, for example, mesh 1. Save. Now, if you go in your original folder, that I closed, sorry.